Hello, everybody. This is Tim here again. Here another review. This time for Chucky season 2 and season 2 episode 1 and the entire of season 1, which I haven't reviewed. So I figured the hell with it, just do them both in one video. Now I'll go ahead and start with the first episode of season 2 since season 1 has already been out. Or I guess I will start with season 1 first. Now season 1, I'd give it a 3 out of 4. I thought it was good, not great. Um, it had great moments and some extreme highlights, but by the end, though, the final just kind of petered out. And the final is kind of the most important part of a movie and show, basically, for how it ends on, is the thing it leaves the viewer with. So the ending is kind of the most important part of most products in terms of movies and film, or movies and TV series and stuff. But yeah, overall, I'd give it a 3 out of 4. They kind of made the bully girl, Lexi or whatever, turn a little bit too fast. Most of the kills were pretty entertaining, though, and it was pretty cool seeing Chucky trying to, turn Jake into a killer and all that. The gay relationship in the show or the first season was handled well. It wasn't, overbearing or anything. It didn't feel like the director was trying to force an agenda into your face or anything. Overall, by the final, though, Andy and Kyle didn't really get to do enough. You could have used them a little bit more. But it was fun and entertaining. Overall, though, despite the final episode kind of petering out, it was a solid 3 out of 4. Good season. Now with this new episode right here, you got the characters brought back and everything, and you got Chucky coming back, and of course Chucky coming back. But it starts out with the ending of the season final, the last season, where Andy's driving the truck, and he takes out Tiffany and pretty much kills all the Chuckies, but maybe a few, by taking the vehicle off the side of the cliff. So, and of course Chucky tries to say later that Andy and Kyle are dead, but we know they're not dead. They're gonna come back. Andy's clearly not dead yet. They're gonna bring him back at some point. But yeah. So they get rid of Andy really quick. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of him in this, but it was a cool opening sequence though, and of course you will see more of him eventually. But the reason Don Mancini's doing this is because he wants to prop up the new characters and all that. I get it. Hold on a second here. Let me adjust the light. Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to get a little bit more light in here. It was darker in here than I thought it would be. But yeah, he wants to prop up the new characters and all that, and the relationships of the new characters. I get it. I mean, I understand. At the same time, though, Andy and stuff is cooler than these new characters, so you want to see more of him. I mean, you just do. But yeah, seeing the original Tiffany doll in this was kind of neat, but it really had nothing to do with the plot. It was just kind of there as a red herring. The psychiatrist gives it to Lexi's sister or whatever, and to her family. And Jake's got this new foster brother or whatever, which was pretty cool. It was nice seeing him bond with the kid and everything. They were friends, and he kept saying "Holy Batman" stuff over and over. It was really annoying. And by the end, when Chucky killed him, I was like, "Thank God," because that kid was getting annoying. He was still kind of cute though, as a child character, whatever, an actor. But at the same time, the "Holy Batman" stuff he kept saying because he was obsessed with Batman was really annoying. He brings Chucky to the house at the end. Chucky was trying to get Lexi and Jake and Devin or whatever, Jake's boyfriend, back together so he could basically blow them all up with a bomb to take care of all of them. It's kind of a cool idea. Lexi's character, they evolve her by showing her having PTSD and she's doing drugs and stuff. It is a little bit overdone, but with her doing all this drugs and everything like that. But the actress does a good job. She's fine in the role. Um, of course, one thing leads to another. Chucky uses the bomb that he's made or whatever to blow up the foster brother. He was going to blow everybody else up, but he didn't get to, so he just took himself out and blew up the foster brother. And ends with them all three getting sent to a Catholic religious school or whatever for reform for children, which is kind of weird that they would send them there. It's also kind of weird that even send them off, because the way the police and stuff are talking about it and everything, it's they believe that it was an accident, that they were just made a homemade bomb and it blew up by accident. So they send them off to a Catholic reform school. I don't think that would actually happen. More than likely, they would send them off to some kind of psychiatric facility, to be honest, to be reformed or something, or to be helped. I don't think they would do this. It feels like just a way to get the three main characters together into a new setting to spice things up for the rest of the season or whatever. And that's another thing, having these characters back, it's still neat to see them here, but overall, it's not as interesting as it would be if we had new characters. The problem here is that we've already seen Chucky chase after these people for a whole first season. And we already know the love relationship between Jake and Devin, so you really can't add much more to it. And I don't really want to see them break up on and off or something, through multiple seasons or whatever. I'm just not that interested in that. The teen melodrama worked for me in the first season because it was okay, you're developing relationships for the first time and all that and establishing all this. But now by the time you get to this season 2 and it's the same characters with more melodrama, I'm you really don't need this. You could have just done a new season with new characters, or had completely different focus. You really don't need to continue these characters direct story. You really don't. It makes it too much of a teen melodrama. Like I appreciate the fact that the movie or the show, I mean, has a gay relationship. Most shows don't, or well, actually, a lot of shows do nowadays. But I still though, a lot of movies and stuff still feature a lot more straight characters than anything. But I like the fact that it has a gay relationship. It changes it up a bit, but at the same time, it just adds unnecessary teen melodrama that I just don't care about. Like there's a scene where Jake's being drove away by his foster parents, and he jumps out of the vehicle, runs to Devin, and kisses him. And he's like, it's like the big love teen romance moment. And I'm like, I'm kind of over like them like getting together and all that because we saw them eventually get together by the end of season one. I'm not really blown away by them as a couple. I mean, it's just kind of there. Like I really don't care about it. Like stuff like that, I feel like kind of drags the show down a little bit, starting with this season two, like with the teen melodrama and all that. And I'll just go ahead and say it. Like I'd give episode one of season two a 3 out of 4. It was fine. They average, not great, not bad. It was fine. They didn't really take enough advantage of the Halloween season. It was just kind of there. It just had to take place on Halloween. And they had some cool callbacks to like the strangers and stuff, and maybe a little bit of Scream at the beginning where Chucky's like calling Jake on the phone. He's like, "Is Tamra home?" Which is a direct copy of the Strangers movies, which was pretty cool. But yeah, overall, it's 3 out of 4. It was average, not bad. I liked I was fine with the episode overall. It was good, but at the same time, I'm like, this kind of makes me nervous about this new season. Like it really feels like it's just going to be the same exact thing as season one. They're just going to happen to be in a Catholic school. So I'm like, that's not that interesting to me. It would have been better, I think, to just start with new characters and to have like this whole focus on this teen romance between Jake and Devin again, and even adding in Lexi's drug use and all that, and her being like a troubled kid now. That doesn't really amp up the character to make her that much more interesting. I just don't. I just feel like these characters' story was pretty much finished in season one. You don't really need to continue with them. Maybe it'll be spiced up and they'll make it more fun with more kills and stuff later on in the series or later on in the season. I have a feeling by the end, I will either think this is from what the quality it's setting up right here, I have a feeling I'll think this is either a average, like 2.5, all right season, or I'll end up thinking it's a 3 out of 4, good, fine, slightly weaker than season one season. That seems to be where the writing's pointing at right now. But yeah, overall, it was fine. Nothing special. It makes me a little worried for season two, to be honest. Like I'm not sure if Chucky is the right character for a format for a ongoing TV series. Maybe for like a one-off limited series or a limited season or something like that, or whatever. For just a season one would have been better, to be honest. Like I'm not sure if this show's gonna last now that I'm seeing the start of episode two. But maybe it'll pick up later. You never know. But yeah, overall, 3 out of 4, fine, average. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing amazing. If for a first episode to kick off a season two, they really need to grab you. And this one was just kind of fine. So we'll see what the future holds.